United States during December was reviewed today by Robert P. Lamont, Secretary of Commerce, as an indication that American industry had reached a point where a break in New York stock prices does not necessarily mean a national depression. Associated Press Dispatch, January 21st, 1930. Definite signs that business and industry have turned the corner from the temporary period of emergency that followed deflation of the speculative market were seen today by President Hoover. The President said the reports to the Cabinet showed the tide of employment had changed in the right direction. January 21st, 1930. President Hoover predicted today the worst effects of the crash on unemployment will have passed during the next 60 days, March 8th, 1930. So, I mean, does this sound anything like what we hear from our politicians today? And for those of you who are historically impaired, the Great Depression did not end till after 1941 and only because we had entered World War II.
We're coming up on a break. You're on The Real News. Our website's therealnewsradio.com. You can email us on air at therealnewsradio.com. And after the break, we will take some phone calls if you'd like to call in, and we'll have to make it short. We've only got about an 11-minute segment. Next week, our guest will be Rebecca Carley, MD. She is very outspoken about immunizations, inoculations. We'll be going into that next week. Honored to have her on, and we'll be on The Real News here on WSIC 1400, WDSL 1520 after the break.
All right, music up.
We're back on The Real News. You're on The Real News today. Go ahead, ma'am.
And I wanted to compliment the station on this program going into syndication. And I think you and Brian should be commended on having a program that these other stations wants to air on their stations. And again, I just want to say congratulations to you.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you calling in. While I got you, would you want to give your opinion on all these bailouts and what's happening with our government today?
Well, I think it's sort of bad. I don't know a whole lot about, stuff like that, but I do think that the big wheels have made a lot of mistakes, and people are having to suffer from their mistakes.
Well, I agree with you on that, and again, I appreciate you calling in and congratulating us for being syndicated on the Liberty News Radio Network, and we certainly do appreciate your call. Feel free to call back anytime.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And again, this is a forum for the listener where you can call in and voice your opinions on the current events that we speak about or whatever's on your mind. That's one of the main reasons Brian and myself wanted to do this broadcast, was to give the public the opportunity to call in and say what their opinion is on what's happening with our government, our constitutional rights, our economy, and our march into a socialistic tyranny and a new world order. Ty, go ahead and give us the poll of the week. Each week on our website, therealnewsradio.com, we have a poll. We get our contestants for the poll off of the broadcast, the news items that Brian or myself reports. And we urge you to go there and vote for Hypocrite of the Week. And if you have any suggestions, someone you'd like to put on, we got a suggestion this week. He will be on the poll of the week when we update the website. So go ahead, Ty.
This past week's contestants for Hypocrite of the Week was Missouri's terrorist list, Obama trying to make veterans pay for their service-related injuries, North Carolina Judge Mangum forcing state schooling on the peasants, Pepsi Company and News Corp perverted Family Guy episode, Bilderberg's H.R. 875 attacking organic farmers, and the Department of Justice for these investigations of Sheriff Joe Apio. And this week's winner of the Hypocrite of the Week was Missouri's terrorist list.
That was the MIAC report that we started off the broadcast in the first hour on. Again, I urge everyone to go there and check that out for themselves, because they're unmasking themselves. We are under attack, and they're openly saying so. You're on Real News.
Hello?
Hello.
This is Bill Anderson this morning,
Yes, sir.
and I want to compliment you on the man that was just on, the Air Force man.
Yes, sir.
I think he is 100% right in every word that he had to say today. And, you know, I agree with him 100%. But let me tell you this, you keep saying and he keeps saying about a new world order. A new world order is coming. St. John is my favorite commentator. He wrote the book of the Revelation. And in Revelation 13, 7 and 8, he said there is coming a one world dictator that's going to rule over every nation, every kindred and tongue. And you know, as I studied the Bible for some 65 years, I think Obama fits the image, the role to be the Antichrist, the better of any man on the world scene.
Well, sir, we're hoping to get Dr. Bowman here later in the year. He's going to be in North Carolina in October, and we're hoping to get a speaking engagement within this area.
And, sir, while I got you, we are trying to put it together for April 15th to be out in the streets in protest of the tax system. Would you be interested in joining us?
I'll give it some serious thought.
Well, we appreciate you calling. Is there anything else you'd like to add today?
No, that's about what I've got on my mind, but I think this payoff to the rich people up there is one of the most outrageous, dumbest, worst things that Obama and the Democrats could ever do. And it's going to bankrupt us. Well, we're already bankrupted.
Well, I agree with you on that, and I appreciate you calling, and feel free to call back in again, sir.
Thank you.
Something I wanted to report on, and we've got just a few minutes if anyone wants to call in before we go off the air. You're on the Real News.
Yes, sir. I've got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
We're borrowing all this money from Russia and China and overseas. What happens when they start wanting to call the money back? I mean, would they go to war with us if we don't got them? They just try to come in here and take our assets, or you know, what's going on with that end of it?
Well, I think that's an excellent question. One me and Brian has discussed ourselves. I mean, we're in runaway debt, biggest debtor nation in the history of the world. So, you know, where do they go on? Alaska? I mean, Brian, what's your thoughts? You have what do you know?
I'd be happy to give them California. They can have it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know the answer to that, but I think the day's coming where we're going to find out.
Where's this place going to take place at here in Statesville as far as the march goes?
Well, I tell you what, we might be announcing it just a little premature. We're trying to find out if we need permits, and we will update this next week and tell you something definite. We're putting together the idea, trying to get it organized, but if you will tune in next week and keep a check on our website, therealnewsradio.com, we will keep you informed.
I think it'd be a good idea if you could like do it on the weekends where the few of us that are working here in Statesville will join.
Well, I agree with you on that too, sir.
Well, we're just looking for the majority, which happens to be unemployed, right?
Exactly. Can you bring guns?
No.
I know. Hey, I appreciate you calling. Is there anything else you'd like to add today? Go ahead. You're on the Real News.
Good morning. Just wanted to make a little comment about, I was wondering, this gentleman, I appreciate him serving the country, but I wonder how much training did he have to have before he became a fighter pilot? And is he qualified to teach young people to fly anything?
Well, I know the military training is quite extensive if you want to fly an airplane. And I don't know exactly the time frame we're looking at, but also keep in mind Dr. Bowman, he has a PhD in aeronautics and nuclear engineering from Caltech University, and he was the man in charge of the Department of Defense Star Wars program through 2 presidential administrations. I mean, we only went over part of his resume, and it's just extraordinary. He's taught at various universities. He spoke at the United Nations.
You could go to his website again, pt8.us, and his complete bio is there, and it is quite extensive. So we maybe can't answer that question for you at the moment.